Got it. And I'm gonna do the same. And I'm ready when you are.
3, 2. Welcome back to Show Me What I've Been Missing, your pop culture podcast that says, hey, remember that thing? I'm one of your hosts, Elizabeth Stanton, and with me is my other host.
Chris Mack, what's up, guys?
And we are working our way episode by episode, season by
Here.
season, through Sex
Here.
and the City.
Yeah.
Chris has never really seen it. I've seen it way too many times. And we are in the middle of, or almost in the middle of season 5. Season 5, episode 3, Luck Be an Old Lady.
Are we in the middle? Oh yeah, you said this
No,
season
it's
short, right?
it's only episode 3. It's a short
Okay.
season, so we're not
Yeah.
quite to the halfway point, but it is like a weird truncated season because Sarah Jessica Parker got pregnant at some point in that timeline, and they did like a shorter season 5, and then did season 6A and 6B, and I'm like, why not just be 6 and 7? Whatever. I hate when they're like, oh, it's season 2 point Mach 5. It's not a full season or whatever. Because you know what it is, too. If you don't call it a separate season, you don't have to pay writers and producers and stuff. And you have to
Mm,
pay people as much for a whole nother season. You can just be like, oh, no, no, it's all part of the same season. Therefore, you can't ask for more money. It's sneaky.
ooh, I didn't know that was a
Sneaky.
thing.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder
That
if that was like
happens a
the same
lot on
thing.
streaming. Happens a lot on
Yeah,
streaming.
you know what that makes sense. I wonder if that was the same thing because Entourage did that too. I think it was like season 3. It was like season 3A and then season 3
Mm-hmm.
B. Now they
Yeah.
also could have been, I don't know, I'm trying to think of when Entourage even started, but like it also could have been the writer's strike at that time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying, in fairness, if that's this feels early enough where it could have been like a writer strike thing where like
Yeah.
you have some truncated seasons and things like that. But nowadays, like the one that sticks out to me just from recent memory on streaming was the Sabrina, the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina show on Netflix. It
Hmm.
was like, oh yeah, that thing that felt like a season finale, that was our mid-season finale. It technically only has 3 seasons of the show, but it's like 5 seasons. It's ridiculous.
You know, and
It's a scam.
that's I feel like that's what they're doing too. Also with even though it's like there's, I mean, I think they're saying it's the next season, but it feels like that's what they did with this last season of Stranger Things. You know
Yes,
what I mean? Like
possibly.
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
broke it into like you know what I mean? Because like honestly, the way that this season ended was like still didn't wrap up the story of season 4. So it's like, so is this, you know what I mean? Like,
I think next season is technically season 5 for Stranger Things,
yeah, yeah,
unless
yeah,
they did pull the shady. Oh no, it's just one big season.
right. Well,
And
they, Netflix are doing like, with fucking what you call Ozark. They did that part 1, part 2
mm-hmm,
thing with the
mm-hmm.
last season. So it's like, I see what y'all doing. I see it now that I know. I see it now. Oh man.
Incidentally, hire me though. I am looking for work.
Hey, dude, if you ever wrote on Stranger Things, I would definitely be putting that. Like, you have to put that in description. Writer on
I
Stranger,
wish. Oh my
dude. You would
god.
have to. You would
Oh,
have to. It
dream.
would only
I
make
wouldn't
sense.
shut up about it if I was
Hell
writing for
no. I wouldn't. I wouldn't
Stranger
tell you to shut up
Things.
about it. I'm like, hey, make sure every episode you bring up Elizabeth Stanton, writer of Stranger Things, episode 2, whatever episode you wrote on. Like, make sure you bring that up. Just keep it going.
But back to Sex in the City. So the it's all one big trip to Atlantic City
Yeah.
for I should we just dive in because they all are kind of interconnected. There's not really like
Yeah. I mean, we just talk
the
about it.
the
Yeah.
way we like usually go like character by character. There's not really a great way to do that because they're all sort of constantly interacting.
Yeah. Which is
Um,
actually, I think, the point of this episode,
yeah,
right? Because,
hmm
the whole point of this episode was Carrie like trying so hard to keep them all together,
yeah.
even though,
May
like,
keep the friendships like
yeah,
fires burning, which is
yeah,
admirable. But as we
yeah.
will learn, guess what? Forced fun is never fun. And
Also,
Carrie is
too,
trying so hard to make forced fun. It's the
yeah.
worst.
Well, here's the thing, too. It's also because there's part of me where it's like, I get where she's coming from, but it's also part of me, it's like, you're being a little selfish.
Yeah,
So we'll get into that anyway. I'm
yeah,
just saying, like, when it's both parts, it's like, what do you do? Like, that's why I didn't work out until like kind of towards the end of the episode because she's,
yeah.
it's like kind of when she stopped being selfish,
Right, right.
which was, anyway, anyway,
So yeah,
I
the
mean,
episode kicks off with Carrie. doing possibly truly one of the hardest parts of dating, whether it's a blind date or like an online one, is waiting for the other person to arrive.
Okay, so I want to get into this because I've never been on a blind date,
I
and I
never have either, other
okay,
unless
okay.
you count um an online date, but I don't think that's not really a blind date because you kind of know who you're looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah. Like I'm assuming you already met this person like on a in a
Yeah,
dating app or something, right?
yeah.
So I wouldn't call that a blind date. First off, I have two questions. One, who did she ever say who set this blind date up?
No, she didn't.
That's my
It's
first
like,
question is who set this up? Like,
yeah.
was it Charlotte? Was it Miranda? Was it
The way
Samantha?
Charlotte talks about it at the brunch, I feel like it was Charlotte somehow
Okay, okay.
because she was
Yeah,
so like, you got to get out there
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like pushing her about it and like, don't give up on it. And I
Yeah.
think it's just they never address it, but it's the intensity with which Charlotte uh, encourages Carrie to blind date. I feel like it's Charlotte.
Yeah, and it is a Charlotte move
Mm-hmm.
to set somebody up on a blind date, you know what I mean? So because I definitely don't see Miranda doing that
No.
personally. Um Samantha maybe, but like
Yeah.
low percentage in that. Like I would say a 10% chance that she would do that, but Charlotte like 1,000% for sure. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and now my second question, because
Mm-hmm.
the way that she spoke about it and the way that some of the other girls, even except for Charlotte, were speaking about it, is going out on a blind date an insult? Like if somebody set you up an insult?
I think in this era, it is treated that way, as in like you can't even secure your own date or like
Okay.
flirt
Yeah,
or
but I can see that as a
whatever.
guy, like you can't even get a girl, you know. So I can see us
Yeah.
making fun of each other, but as a woman, that's still an insult as well.
It's just it's always been treated like on TV like a
Mm-hmm.
blind date. The blind date trope is just it's bad. Never
Okay.
there. You are not a bad person, but you are like in your lowest of lows
Mm.
because you're resorting to being set up with a total stranger. Oh, but I think it's more of a TV thing. Like I
Yeah.
really truly or a movie thing. Like it's a media generated like
Yeah.
nonsense where it's like everyone thinks you're supposed to like clearly it's the cute neighbor you should have always been going out with or
Right.
whatever, that's
Yeah.
what you're supposed like.
See, because me, it's like the only time I think going on a blind date would be insulting is like after meeting the person that that I was set up with. You know
And
what I
that's
mean?
usually
Because
this that's
that's
always the punchline in
yeah,
the whatever media is
sure.
it is like I will set you up on a blind date, they're perfect for you, and then you see them on the blind date, whatever the character, and I'm just going with the
Yeah,
woman being the main character, and
yeah,
it's like a not as attractive guy, or there's something weird about them, or
yeah,
they're bald, or what, whatever thing they don't like.
yeah,
Often is a magician, and again, as I've said multiple times, I would
yeah.
not balk at dating a goddamn magician.
No,
Hours of delight for
yeah.
me.
It's like
But
it's only like I would only mock it if that's all that's the entire personality is like they're
which in
constantly doing
fairness,
tricks.
I get it. Like sometimes I mean, yeah, I feel like that would be a big chunk of the personality, but
Yeah.
it's
It's
one
not a
I
big
could work
no,
with.
it's fine, it's a big chunk. But I'm saying like if that's all they're doing, like the entire like we can't even have a conversation because they're constantly like
Yeah.
breaking out a trick every 5 minutes or like asking me to pick a card. Like, all right, we're done. Like I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So as far as the blind date thing, yeah, that's the only part I would find insulting is if like I met if you're telling me, oh, this person is great for you, and I meet them and they're nothing of what you know what I mean? And not even
Yeah.
like, and because here's the thing, sometimes it can be the opposite of what you're looking for in a good way, but if it's the opposite in a bad way, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you know what I mean? Because then at that point, you start questioning the friendship. Like, am I
Yeah,
really
yeah,
friends with
yeah.
this person, or am I just like, are we just coworkers, or like, are we friends of friends? Just like closest acquaintances. Like, what do they really know about me that
Yeah,
they
because I've always
hide?
joked like, oh, I wish friends would set me up on blind dates.
Sure.
And they never do, but I'm like, nah, it's probably for the best,
You might, yeah, you might end some friendships.
Yeah, because it does, that, and that's not necessarily like the friend could truly like think that, but then it's like too much of a mirror, holding a mirror up to yourself, basically, where you're like, oh shit, like I think I'm X, and everybody's thinking Y.
Sure.
Oh
Yeah,
fuck,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That's
that's
another,
just not
yeah.
what you want.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's very true because it's like, yeah,
So then you
because
take it
if
out on
like,
the friend.
yeah, because like, well, yeah, like, yeah, like, I mean, honestly, that actually kind of makes sense because like, right, we all have us, this self image of ourselves, sometimes negative, sometimes positive.
Yeah.
And if somebody's setting you up on a blind date and they're saying, "Oh, this person's perfect for you," and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Is this how you see me?
Right.
Am I not
Do
putting out
other
the
people see me this
right?
way?
Like, it's like, am I not putting
Oh
out the thing that I want? Like,
no. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Am I not putting out the vision of who I am the way that I thought I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting it out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the part. That's the only part I would see as an insult. Not just being set up on a blind date. I mean, I guess if you know you can view it that way as it being like, oh, you're so desperate, but it's like not really.
Yeah.
I mean, dating in general, like that's the whole thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
not like people are just like waking up, getting married. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like, it's
Yeah.
all kind of embarrassing. We all have to put ourselves out there in some capacity to even do the whole dating thing in general.
Yeah.
So, anywho,
It's okay. My cat who has joined the chat. He's
yes.
my boyfriend now.
Mm-hmm.
My cat is
Mm-mm.
my boyfriend.
Mm-mm.
I'm kidding.
You're not. You're first of
I'm
all,
not there yet.
I know that all the women in this episode were like, "Oh, I'm 36. I'm disgusting," but like, chill. And then
Well,
even
first of
like,
all, I'm fucking 36. We'll get into
that's
that
what
when
I'm
we
saying.
when we
So
get
like,
there.
that's what I'm like. Don't go there. Like, you might be 36, but you're not dead. You don't have
No,
to
I
result in your
know.
boyfriend being your or your cat being your boyfriend.
Although my fucking work crush, I was telling him about the psychic
Yeah,
that said like, oh, like that missed the cancer diagnosis, but
yeah.
was like, oh, you'll be in like a writer room thing, and like you'll have like a boyfriend in like the fall over the holidays. I was like, oh my god, cool. And then I told him all that. He goes, well, isn't that when you got the cat? And I was like, first of all, wow.
The disrespect.
Second of all, taking the psychic side is a guarantee to piss me right off. And I was like, I meant a human, and you
Savage.
know that.
Savage.
The
Savage.
jam ended, so I don't think this work crush is going to work out.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, he
I was
be.
like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Savage,
Like,
dude.
yes, did the cat make cameo appearances on the like Teams calls? Yes, but it was delightful every time. Everybody loved seeing him, and I was
Oh
even
man.
complimented on my handsome boy. But anyway, and first of all, he's not my
Savage.
boyfriend; he's my child. So this is a big
Hey,
difference.
listen, in some states that's also the same thing.
Don't knock the
So
mic, though, buddy. And so yes, they're at the brunch and they talked about the blind dates, and Carrie's like, well, why can't I just have fun with my friends
yeah.
and stuff like that? Charlotte's like, well, you got to keep trying because you don't want to end up an old maid. Boo,
Boo.
boo.
I mean, here's the thing.
Sorry, Charlotte, but no.
No, but yeah, in that sense of like, listen, we don't have to be with anybody. Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
we as humans are meant to be like social creatures and things like that. You don't have to be anybody. However, I do agree that like I don't think anybody. I don't know if there's truly anybody out there that wants to be alone. Because I think there are
No.
people who are like,
Well,
like
listen,
here's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah, like we want to. Here's the thing. Even loners want to be alone, but with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm,
even at the
mm-hmm.
end of the day, like I like my own space, but like I would still like somebody else occupying it from time to time. You know what I mean? Somebody
Yeah.
that you know what I mean. So I think there's only probably like a few people, like maybe like a 10% of like for the world that's like
Mm-hmm.
I truly want to be by myself, and I think that's also not necessarily they want to be by themselves. They just kind of like giving up on the idea of being with
Yeah.
somebody, and I think that's where Carrie is kind of at this point
Mm-hmm.
right now. She's kind of just not really trying anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, uh, which I get, but it's also it's like you kind of brought this on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Miranda, and they all do scoff at Charlotte, and Miranda makes the point
yeah,
of like, women get stuck with spinster and old maid, and it's a bad thing if we're alone when we're older, but men are
yeah.
bachelors forever, playboys, and that's cool.
Well,
For the most part, though.
it can be, but like, here's the thing: even at a certain point, it's kind of pathetic. Like,
True.
like I okay, like
Depending on what the guy is doing, if he's still trolling for chicks in his like 50s, 60s.
yeah, like if he's going into like not like if he's not like suave, but like kind of
Yeah.
scumbaggy,
Yeah.
then it's like it's kind of pathetic. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's a difference between like a George Clooney and like
Mm-hmm.
Barney Stinson from How I Met Your
Yeah.
Mother. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like a that kind of thing, then it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of pathetic. And then if it's the George Clooney, it's kind of like, all right, you know, he still got a little, you know,
And
juice in his
Clooney,
tank.
even Clooney settled down eventually.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like it
Even a
does become
super hot lawyer
yeah.
wife.
Exactly. So, I mean, he's George Clooney. I was you expect anything else? I mean, come on.
But that answers the question. It's like, wow, he's like a really handsome, cool dude. Like, who would he be with? It's like the answer
right.
is a super smart, hot lawyer lady.
Yeah. Who would he settle with? A very attractive
Yeah.
lawyer lady.
And
That's
I love whenever I see a flipped headline because usually it's like George Clooney and wife, da da da. But I love it when people are like Amal Clooney and her husband go to blah blah blah. Because I was like, yeah, if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, like just depending on whatever. But if you're like, she is so fucking accomplished,
yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, and he is here with his own field and whatnot. So that's
Yeah,
also too why it makes a lot of sense. It's like you
like
kind of gravitate.
top of their respective fields. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so again, yeah, we get the term bachelor and it does sound cool, but like after, like
Mm-hmm.
50, if you out there and you still ain't really figured it out, it's kind of gross,
Yeah.
you know.
I set my age limits a little higher on dating apps,
Mhm.
but no, not past a certain point.
Listen, I think the limit for you should be 50.
It is. It's
Yeah,
where
it's
I
like
put
that.
it.
That's yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 50. Like after that, I mean, now listen, I'm not saying you can't find love at like 55 or nothing like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but like,
We're bordering on. Well, that'll be damn near 20 years older than me, which is not
yeah,
the end of the world,
no, no,
especially since I am a full grown adult.
right, yeah,
That's the key difference. I'm a
yeah,
full adult lady with like my own career,
yeah.
some not really some money, but I can pay my own bills.
It's like, oh, you got money saved up in LA? Shit, you doing all
I
right, my boy.
I
You doing
don't.
all
I
right, my
do
boy.
need a. I do kind of need a sugar daddy, but
Yeah, like, you
what
doing
do you
all
call
right,
it?
my boy.
I am not. Yeah, I was gonna say I think 20-year age difference when someone's in their 30s is like
Yeah,
way
right.
better and
Yeah,
manageable than like,
sure.
oh, I'm 18 and I'm dating a 38
Well,
year
also,
old.
yeah, also like I said,
Weird.
socially, it looks a little better too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even if it's like a 45-year-old dating like a 25-year-old, people still kind of be like,
Yeah.
what you doing, bro? You know what I mean?
Her frontal lobe only just finished forming,
Yeah,
like everyone rips on him, kind of rightfully so, because Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of starting to fall into that like that is cool.
exactly. So there's a difference between
That's
Clooney
oh
and then
yeah
you know what I'm saying, Clooney
yeah
and DiCaprio now. Because like here's the thing too, the difference between like a Clooney, he finally did settle down. Leo is it don't seem like he's even looking towards settling down. Like as soon as a
yeah.
bitch turns 25, he's like, get out of here,
He's like hit the
hit
bricks.
rocks. I see you, bring me another 22-year-old in here. And that's when that's what I'm saying. So Bachelor doesn't always seem
True,
that
true.
fucking cool because
Yeah.
right now everybody's kind of shitting on Leo. You know what I mean?
Because yeah, he's like losing heartthrob status left. I've first of all, he's never been my heartthrob of choice. The
Mm.
which is, but speaking of liking older men, I watched the fucking Man in the Iron Mask like a few months ago,
Oh
and
man.
I know I saw it when I was like a teenager, and every girl I knew was like, "Oh my god, Leo," and I was like, "Okay, but what about Jeremy Irons and Gabriel Byrne? Come
I
on."
was gonna say that. I was like, actually, he wouldn't even be like the top shit
He's
in that
not
movie.
even the
He
top
was, but like he
three.
wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't.
Malkovich is even working for me in that movie, man. Like it's
Malkovich. Malcolm. I can see you dating a Malkovich.
I can't even explain. Okay, this is
You would totally hit a Malkovich.
so this is so I stand by this probably like a weird formative memory. So you remember that music video "Walking on Broken Glass" by Annie Lennox? It used to be a pop-up video all the time.
If I saw it, maybe.
If you saw it, you would probably be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Yeah, yeah. If I
And
saw it, probably.
that was around the time John Malkovich was in Dangerous Liaisons, which is a great
Okay,
movie.
great movie.
And like, is he the most conventionally like attractive dude? No, but he's very intense and like
Yeah.
in Dangerous Liaisons. If you haven't seen it, but you have seen Cruel Intentions, pretty similar plot line.
Yeah. Oh, so,
He's the Ryan Phillippe in that movie.
100%, 100% the same movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the point of Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
But he is the Ryan Phillippe in that movie, in
Right.
the Dangerous Liaisons movie, and
Yeah.
there is a certain je ne sais quoi to it because it's French. And so he's also in that same kind of look in the Walking on Broken Glass music video, and I can't explain it, but I'm like, fuck yeah, I get it, I get it.
Well, I mean, listen. Again, you also got to remember, men and women are built differently, and here's the thing: talent goes a long way with attraction. And John Malkovich is very talented actor.
Talented,
so, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure in his day he's married and shit like that. I'm pretty sure in his day he probably did all right in the old.
I think he has like. Maybe he does or doesn't, but I think he's got like some folks under his belt. Maybe not. I may be totally making this up. I can't.
Listen,
I have to
no. I'm sure there is, and the ones that we don't know about are probably more numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Hollywood would be nasty like that.
So. But yeah, that was always so funny to me. And I knew it like at the time when we were watching Man in the Iron Mask. It was like, Leo, and I was like, okay, but like the older Musketeers.
Yeah,
working for.
I mean, also Jeremy Irons is even right now.
Jeremy Irons is
still
like
looks
potentially
good.
hot.
Yeah, he still looks good. He still looks good.
Oh, and that voice. Oh my god.
Yeah, he is a great actor voice. Yeah, for
so
sure, 100%.
Forever
Scar. I listen. I understand there was the new Lion King. I'm supposed to like support it big time because it was like all black actors.
And I like Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's good. He's fantastic.
Right. But he did not do that role justice like Jeremy Irons did.
Didn't hit.
I mean, the Be Prepared was trash, bro. Like, I'm sorry, Chiwetel. Like, that shit was.
I think he got dubbed, by the way, for singing. Because they kind of made him sing talk it.
It was talking it.
Yes.
Jeremy Irons actually like had a few vocals.
Yeah, he tore out. He like shredded his own vocal cords singing that. They had to get someone in to finish dubbing it because he like that's how much he put into it.
Yeah, come on, I'm about to watch that tonight. Anyway, let's continue.
So yes, and so as we mentioned, Charlotte is turning 36, but she's like, I'm not gonna do that this year. I'm just gonna stay 35.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid. Oh, this.
But here's the thing: only girls can do that. Be like, you know what? I'm not gonna be 36. I'm gonna be 35 until I'm ready to go to 36. Yeah. Like, no man is at this. I'm like, you know what? I'm 35 or 36, but I'm staying at 35 because I haven't reached my level of life that I want to be at. Like, everybody be like, shut the fuck up.
It's the society bullshit of like old women are bad. Like, you're past your prime. You're no longer useful to society. We don't have to get into all that, but Charlotte's like, I don't look or feel 36, and she doesn't. Although in a weird like. I think because I watched the show when I was younger, I think of them as older than 30s for some reason, and I don't have a good answer for that. It's just like a weird like time capsule thing. But like, yeah, she doesn't look like I wouldn't be like, oh, that's like an old lady.
No, I mean, honestly, too, man. Of all the girls,
she's the youngest looking at the bunch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she barely looks in her 30s. Like, she's like pushing like a 29, 30, age at that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, yeah, of all the people that she's worried, there's no way that she should be the one that's worried. I mean, like Carrie looks 35, you know what I'm saying? And Miranda does. But I think it's more Miranda's because the way she dresses and shit.
Yeah.
Because she just, she's like 50 years old, even in her 20s, you know what I mean?
and like, the good thing is that some of that aging crap has gone by the wayside now. Like I said, I'm 36. Some people don't think I'm 36, which is, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. But I'm like, it's the baby face and the cheeks, my friends. That's why I look like a big baby.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, just the whole like, oh, I'm not turning another year older.
Yeah,
so stupid.
Yeah,
but she doesn't want to celebrate, and Carrie is like, well, because initially Carrie's like, well, we should get together and do something for your birthday.
Yeah,
and Charlotte's like, I don't want to. Miranda's like, my baby nurse is done, and now it's just me, full time with baby.
Yeah.
And Samantha's gonna go to Atlantic City with Richard, and Charlotte's like, oh, I don't want to celebrate. And Carrie's pissed, and like 2 days later, she's still pissed.
Yeah.
And so she has spent like hours on the phone by the
That's what
time
I'm
we
saying.
get
Like,
to
clearly,
her.
like 48 hours, like trying to convince everybody that this is bullshit, that they're
Yeah.
going to celebrate. Like she
Like
was,
working through the negotiations of
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
she's like, Miranda can get Steve to watch the baby. Charlotte says she'll come if you know, she'll go out if you don't mention birthdays or ages or anything. And she's calling Samantha. She's like, "Are you sure you can't get out of Atlantic City with Richard?" And Richard, to his credit, is like, "Well, just invite them along, and I'll upgrade everybody." Which I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I like
Yeah.
baller move, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like also too, like because like it kind of killed two birds with one stone. They were all
Mhm.
looking for something to do for Charlotte's
Yeah,
birthday, and they all wanted to be together. And what better way? Because like also too, because this trip too for them, for Richard and Samantha, wasn't all pleasure. He was like doing business as
yeah. He had
well.
like
So like,
whatever his hotel
yeah, he's
business.
just like
Yeah,
he's like, what better way to keep my lady entertained, and she can be
yeah,
with her friends while I do my work shit, and then we can like see each other later on the night.
yeah.
Smart baller move, guys.
And he not only does he get them all rooms, he gets them private jet
Yeah,
ride.
yeah.
But that
I mean, it's
doesn't.
only to Atlantic City, so what was that like
So it's like
45
not
minutes?
bad. It's
It's
like
like
what?
45 minutes.
I was gonna say, yeah, 45-minute plane ride.
I mean, it's still baller. It's still got a private jet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
disrespect. I know private jets cost a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Fuel costs and things like that. So I'm not
Yeah.
gonna disrespect, but like, it ain't that baller. They ain't like
Yeah.
going overseas or nothing.
Right. Right.
45-minute flight. I mean, how much they run you? Like 50 grand? You know?
Yeah.
Come on. Stop
Well,
playing.
I love this next bit. This next bit does crack me up because Carrie goes to pick up Miranda, and Miranda totally fucks with her. She's like, "I can't do it. I can't leave the baby. I'm so scared. You know, I'm so scared." Carrie's like, and Miranda's like, "I'm just kidding. Steve picked the baby up 2 hours ago. Let's fucking leave." She is ready to run, and
Yeah, dude.
I forget like what. Oh, they're about to leave, and I love Magda showing off pictures of baby Brady. And Carrie's like so disinterested in her friend's baby.
She really is. Which is again, how is she the godmother? How is she the godmother? She has
Right, last episode.
$0 about this baby, bro. Zero.
Ugh.
Negative fuck she gives about this baby. Okay. She wishes that baby didn't even exist, honestly.
I know.
Straight
So
up.
ridiculous.
And I'm still trying to figure out how is she the godmother? Because
But it should have been Charlotte.
I mean, that's the obvious choice. Listen, even look, I get Miranda, like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not like maternal, and like Charlotte's kind of annoying, but like that's just the best choice. And you would think somebody like Miranda, who's always looking for the best of the best, and like that kind of alpha mind female would just be like, yeah,
like, this person is most qualified
the best,
to be
the most qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the help she has around her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, with the maid and the baby nurse and stuff like that. Like you would think she'd be thinking efficiently like that, but you know, it's what it is.
So Miranda is also worried about covering her butt with like a long sweater and wearing stretchy pants. First of all, Miranda ain't even fat. I can't deal with this.
Okay,
so can't even.
Okay, now let me ask you this because I know, I feel like you told me that, or I think you told me, excuse me, that during Miranda's pregnancy on the show, she was actually, the actress herself was actually pregnant, right?
I don't know that actually.
Okay.
I know I know Sarah Jessica Parker gets pregnant, and because Carrie never gets pregnant in the show.
Yeah.
Hence the truncated seasons. I believe Cynthia Nixon has a kid or two. I don't know.
Because I'm also trying to figure out, because the way that they showed her whenever Carrie comes in and she's like worried about how she looks or whatever, I couldn't tell. It just looked, I don't know if that was like a really bad fat suit that they tried to put on her to make her seem a little weighted, or if she was like kind of pregnant at the time and they just shot her at a bad angle. I don't know which one, but I didn't like it.
So she has 3 kids.
Uh-huh.
Two she's had herself.
Okay.
Excuse me, or 2 pregnancies. And she was in a relationship with someone from 88 to 2003. So she may have been pregnant in real life. I feel like they would have made a bigger deal. I don't have any information on that.
I was just wondering because it was just like a really bad angle or something like that for
they're trying to make her look like, you know, and like definitely after you've had a baby, you do not snap back. That's all nonsense and stuff like that. But to treat Miranda like she's my size, like fuck off.
Oh man, they made it seem like she gained like 600 pounds during her pregnancy. Like it was crazy.
It's out of control. But this is that
early 2000s. Yeah. I mean, but at this time, this was like when Friends was still on, and they like the big butt of the joke was
Was
Fat
Monica
Monica.
used to be fat.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, the
yeah,
worst. So I
yeah.
just can't
So
eat like
this is that era.
and people are noticing, and I do worry about it. It looks like being super thin is kind of coming back in a weird way. Like the Kardashians are
Really,
really slimming down, and whether
really.
you like it or not, they do drive a lot of that kind of shit.
Oh yeah,
Like
oh
they've
yeah.
noticed like the butt lifts are gone.
Interesting. I
It looks
haven't
like
noticed.
breast implants may have been taken out, and they're doing lipo and all this, that, and the other thing to not be as thick, if you will. It's
That's interesting.
noticeable.
I have not noticed that, but I now I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna do my I guess I'm gonna look up some Kardashians and see what's going on.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
beware.
Yeah.
Be
So
key. Guard yourselves, younger listeners, especially
yeah.
uh, you know, ladies, of any stripe, because the don't let it get to your head. It's fucking bullshit. Anywho, um,
Yeah. Hmm.
Steve shows up though, and he's terrified of taking care of the baby. He's like, "I'm so scared. I'm worried I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill it." And she's like, "We're all worried we're gonna kill the baby, Steve."
I mean, yo, my man was terrified. But it's so weird though to me because one, how did it take you 2 hours to figure that out, my guy? Like I
Yeah.
feel, you know what I'm saying? Like I can understand if you took you like 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, you know what I'm saying? But like, how did it take you 2 hours to figure it out? Because like she said, when Carrie came to the door, she said, Steve took the baby 2 hours ago. So it took you
Mm-hmm.
2 hours to panic and say you could do it. Like, that's kind of shitty.
He might
Also,
have been
too,
napping when he got him. And
yeah,
so
that's true. That's a good point. That's a great point. That's a
yeah.
great point. Also, that seems so out of character for Steve. It seems like he would be like just excited to have the baby for a weekend and stuff like that.
I think he is, but I think it's playing into a common idea about guys is they don't know a lot about taking care of kids.
Well, that's true.
And Miranda's like, well, you've taken care of him before, and he's like, yeah, but for a few hours at a time. And I think that's the hurdle. Is I think he hasn't done like
A whole
multiple
days.
days
Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
even a
yeah.
whole day.
Well, it is. It's
Because
actually been
baby,
proven that women are better at when their babies are that age that they're better at it than we are. Like, not saying that man can't do it, but like you are better at it
and
for.
also it's possible, it seems like he hasn't maybe taken Brady
Mm,
for more than a couple days because he's still kind of a new baby, maybe breastfeeding and all that kind
hmm.
of stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it's a little harder to take baby away from mom
Hmm.
for a long, not even that long a period, but for a weekend or whatever.
Yeah. Also, too, it's probably, let's be honest, um, Miranda probably hasn't like let him take
I
the
was gonna
baby
say, I
too
think she
long,
also
you
is a control
know.
freak, and she's not letting him take the
Yeah,
baby
it's
for
like
more than
we've seen how she's been treating
yeah.
Steve so far this season when it comes to the baby. So like,
And it's a little
you
lame that
know,
like now when it's convenient for you for him to take the baby. And I say that like as someone who's like, he should, and he is trying to be an
yeah,
involved
yeah,
dad for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, it's not like he's not trying. It's not like he's just like around whenever it's
Yeah.
convenient for him or anything. Like he is. I mean, every time we see the baby in this show so far, he's been around. So
Mm-hmm.
he's clearly trying.
Yeah. So whatever. So they're gonna miss the private plane though, which Charlotte arrives on the private plane
Ugh,
with a super horny Richard and Samantha.
ugh.
Oh my god! I would just take the bus. I would be like, you know what? I'm gonna go.
Dude, there is nothing more that I cannot listen. I'm all
Oh,
for like, listen, I'm not a hater. I'm all for
right.
like light public displays of affection, little kiss here and there, little holy hands and stuff like that. But couples that are just like so disgustingly
Blech.
disrespectful, where like you're full on making out with tongue, he's like filling up on you and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that, and I gotta be there to watch. Like, why would you do that? You got company
Yeah.
around. Like, you're telling me you're so filled with lust and love that you don't see other people around you and you're making them uncomfortable. Like, this
Yeah.
ain't an orgy, my guy. Take it down a
It's a
notch.
45-minute plane ride to New
Yeah, like you're
Jersey.
about to
There's
be in a
no
suite.
way.
You're about to be
Yeah.
in a suite alone. Keep it in your pants. There's no way you're just like, what are you, fucking 15 years old? I can understand
Yeah.
if you're two 15-year-old kids finally getting away to getting, finally getting to be away from parents and you can like,
Mm-hmm.
be a little nasty, but like you're both in your, late 30s and 40s. Fucking keep
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Keep it in your fucking pants for a
Yeah.
45-minute plane
Yeah,
ride.
dude. Like I was feel like, and I know Charlotte's usually the judgmental prude, but like, dude,
But
she
look,
was
being
right
the
in
third
this one.
wheel is bad enough. Being the
Mm-hmm.
third wheel with a really horny couple, fucking nightmare.
The worst.
The worst.
The worst. I know, because he goes to the plane. She's like, oh, she thinks, because there's like a little gift on the chair. And she thinks it's her. She's like, oh, it's so pretty. And she's like, what is it? And he's like,
it's a pearl thong for Samantha.
Trashy. First of all, trashy. Trash. Like, I'm all for lingerie, but a pearl thong? Come on, my boy.
Yeah.
Come on, my boy. Come on.
Yeah,
So, you dating Samantha. Come on, my boy.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
Pearl
and
thong?
also, I love, so they're trying to drive the whole Old Maid thing home, though, too, because Charlotte has taken up knitting to calm her nerves, and she's trying to talk about it. And so she's like trying to knit on the plane. All right. You know what? I hate this.
No, but she's trying not to look old.
She's
also you got like the oldest fucking hobby of older people of all time.
I'm disputing that shit because fuck that. That it's what it used to be associated with. It's disrespectful to
Elizabeth.
No, fuck. I'm doing this. Fuck everybody. Here's the thing. So many young people and young women are still knitting and doing sewing and cross stitching and all this stuff. I follow a ton of them on online, on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. It's young women, and they're not frumpy, sad. They're doing cool, fun stuff. They're using cool, fun materials, making stuff. It's still stupid, like crafts are like old lady things. Yeah. So what if they fucking are? I have painted my embroidery hoops so I can display my finished works. Fuck it off, everybody. I don't care. I don't care. And you know what? It is relaxing.
Yeah, for anybody who's just listening to this, you're not even getting the full passion of what she's doing. You don't even see the passion.
No, I understand the old stereotypes of like sewing or knitting is like old lady hobbies.
Yes, but like, because I understand. Here's the problem I have with it. It's the look. It's the look that comes with it, because people think you're supposed to be like an old lady that knits and shit like that. No, you can have it and shit like that, but like to be fair, it is a typically older person's hobby.
Only because we're letting it die out, baby. The youths are keeping it alive.
Okay, because we got that too. Like, guys, they like whittle wood. I mean, yes, there's some cool craftsmen that make like crazy statues, and it's cool to put on Instagram. But like the typical block of wood and a knife, whittling wood, that's an old man activity.
Men should get more hobbies. Women are so happy with their hobbies, and they try and people try to look down on women's hobbies.
No, we got hobbies. They must have. Everybody just thinks that our hobbies are stupid because they don't understand them.
People think women's hobbies are stupid.
That's true.
And it gets put down and looked down upon all the time, and I will not have that. I will not accept it.
Well, from someone who painted their embroidery rings,
they're hoops, Chris. They're hoops.
I'm sorry. I didn't know there was a difference between a hoop and a ring. Okay?
It is the same fucking thing.
Aren't they synonyms of each other?
Yes, they are. No,
you're just so ready to defend. You're like, I don't give a fuck.
Also, because talk about nerve soothing, because I am about to be unemployed in about a month or so. Yeah. I spent a little too much time last week like working on that shit, because it was like, this is the only thing I have control over right now.
Listen, honestly, I'm
applying for jobs.
It's a meditative experience. I totally get it.
And I do my cross stitching or embroidery or whatever while I watch TV a lot. People are like, well, don't you like miss things? I was like, you're on your phone all the time, aren't you? When you're watching, and people are like, "Oh,
no!" And also too, like if you're good at knitting, you can actually watch
I'm not good at knitting, but you can like totally do like by feel.
Yeah, you can't watch TV and be on this at the same time. You're gonna miss everything.
Yeah, but and yet people are like, "Oh, they're on my phone while I was watching the movie or whatever." Or I'm you're binge watching stuff, but you're on your phone. Okay, you're still missing shit.
Yeah.
And like. I might be like sewing, like looking down and glancing up or whatever, but I'm like getting the bulk. I'm maybe getting more than if I'm on my phone.
Yeah, no, you are. You have to.
A little more productive, not in like a hustle grind way, but just like more kind of like calming, like It does. It's soothing. It's the repetitive, like calming motion.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
logic behind it. But
No,
anywho,
absolutely. No, absolutely. I know you definitely probably get more out of your show, especially too. And as you get better, when you don't have to look down at what you're doing and you already kind of know what's going on, like it's not gonna be a problem. Like you're gonna be able to watch it, do and your brain will be like occupied. The hands, it's gonna be a nice meditative experience. It's gonna be dope.
yeah.
I fuck with it.
What do you call it? So I'm defending the fiber arts because they're marked, they're mocked.
Don't
As,
call it the fiber.
I will call it the fiber arts if I want to.
That made it sound super old. The fiber. The fiber. The fiber.
Look, everybody wears fiber. Think about it.
The fiber arts.
I'm
fine with it.
Anywho's.
Oh man, hilarious.
So, while Charlotte is stuck on the plane, Carrie has once again successfully negotiated to have Magda help Steve out with the baby over the weekend, and Miranda's like, that's not Magda's job technically, and Carrie's like, throw money at the problem, let's go.
For real though, like yeah, because like honestly, she was ready to throw a bunch of money at all the whole thing in it anyway, like not just for this situation, but just like as far as baby care and shit like that. Yeah, you threw a bunch of maid, fucking baby nurse, fucking lock. You know what I mean? She was just shelling out money. So like, what's the difference between this and that? And also, Steve's still gonna be there, so you're still not like like that. You're not like the typical rich person parents where it's like, oh, here, nurse, we're gonna go.
Yeah, and frankly, I think that's more for Steve's benefit than even the baby's, because I think Steve just is like not confident in his baby care skills yet. Which I don't. I think as we said before, Miranda probably hasn't let him become that way.
Yes,
because
you got to do that with practice. Like anything else, you got to get more reps.
So Carrie and Miranda take the bus. They call it the Old Lady Express, and they're like, "Where are all the men?" And Miranda's like, "They're either dead or married to 20-year-olds," which accurate,
I don't know about that older. The people that was getting on that bus. I hope those men aren't married to 20-year-olds because that's just gross.
Yeah.
That's just gross.
And Carrie's like, I wonder if we'll be friends till this old age. And she's like mad at Miranda for zoning out.
Yeah.
Wanting to relax. And Carrie's like, you got to invest in friendships and everything. And it's like, yes, you do. But again, like I said, way at the beginning of this, the forced fun thing is just no one has fun doing it. Like
she said you have to have an emotional retirement plan. Now, I was gonna ask you, like, because I mean, obviously this is like something that came from the show, but I was like, is that a thing that women kind of do? Do you kind of have an emotional,
not really? Like I have some super close friends that I'm like, my oldest friend is from the second grade. We met in the second grade and we're still tight. We don't, she still is back in Michigan though, and I live out here. We text occasionally, not like nonstop, but like it's the old like when you do it, it's like you never stopped kind of thing. And that just came with time. And then there are friends I've made here that I'm still friends with my Craigslist roommate from when I've been in her wedding. I hang out with her and her kids and her husband. Like,
oh wow,
that and we're gonna like stay friends forever.
I mean, shit, yeah. If y'all can make it through living together, you definitely go.
Yeah, and I know people are like, well, how come you were never roommates after because it was kind of a short lease, and like then the owners were doing weird stuff, and we had to, not weird stuff, but they like,
oh, okay, it's like, ugh.
Sorry, that sounded more dramatic. They just changed. They changed like lease agreements or what have you, and it
that's still weird.
Made sense to move. And then she and I never lived together again though, and that was the secret, was never living together again, because there were times where one of us or the other would need like a living situation, but like the other was already in one, couldn't get we couldn't make it work to live together again. But I was like, that was the secret though, was never living together for more than a few months.
I mean, I could see that for sure.
But definitely. But what I don't think of it as like I need to spend time with these friends to ensure that they stay friends with me till my old age. It's just I'm staying friends with them to stay friends with them.
Well, shit, maybe Carrie does, because I mean, let's be honest. Eventually, somebody gonna get tired of her shit, and she probably fucking knows that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, if anybody's gonna get tired of her, I think the first person to get tired of her shit is definitely gonna be Charlotte.
Yeah.
Of all the people, you know what I'm saying? She gonna get tired of her shit, and then it'll be Samantha, and then maybe if somebody were to get tired of her shit, might be Miranda, but I don't think it'd be Miranda would ever really stop being friends.
I think they've got she and Carrie do have like enough of a cynical groove together
Mm-hmm.
that it won't kill it would take a lot to kill the friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's do
Yeah.
the
Oh, sorry.
oh no, I had a runny nose and I was
Oh, I thought you talking about my mic. Sorry, I was like,
no,
okay.
you're good. So they get to Atlantic City though, and oh my god, they're at the Trump Taj Mahal. Boo. I feel like that got taken down recently within the past few years.
You know what? Let's do
Let's
a
do a
little
little Google.
little giggle search. See what
Mm-hmm.
happens. The name got changed to the Hard
Oh,
Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City.
good.
That's all that happened to it. Just they just changed the name. They're like, yeah, no, we're yeah. Oh, it got sold.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, it got
Oh.
sold. It got sold for pennies on the dollar. Ooh.
Oh man, I wonder if there's like a bunch of classified documents in there or some shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. So it said it was built for 1.2 billion in 1990. God
Mm-hmm.
damn, that's a lot of money
That's
for
a lot of
1990.
money in
That's a
1990.
lot of money for 1990. That I mean, we're talking like that's probably like
But
10
remember, he
billion.
probably
10
didn't
billion,
actually
excuse me.
pay anybody. We all know, like he has always lied about paying people for work or like suing them
Yeah.
into oblivion. So that's probably not even accurate.
Yeah, so it got sold for 4 cents on the dollar.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it got sold for like 50 million and he spent 1.2 billion.
Oof. No wonder his kids are stealing from fucking cancer charities. My
Man,
God.
you talk about a loss. That's a kick in the balls right there.
Yeah.
God damn. You said
So
a
they
1.2 billion and they sold that bitch for 50 million? Bruh.
what a loser, am I
I
right?
wouldn't claim that on my taxes. Fuck
No.
that. God damn. Mm.
So they enter the place and I love their outfits are so like over the top on character
Okay, I'm about to
in
say
this
because
moment.
Carrie's outfit was too much, way too much.
Yeah,
In this scene, not the rest of the show has been fine, but that first opening scene when they're walking into the Taj Mahal, like, the fuck is she wearing? She looks like one of
yeah.
the showgirls there.
I
Like, what
know
are you?
she's wearing like pants and then like a bra top with like not fringe but kind of big flap
I was
fabric.
gonna say a chandelier top. That's what it looked
Yeah,
like.
it's like I
Or a
don't
wind
actually
chime. Look like wind
total.
chimes.
I didn't totally hate it. It is very Carrie,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's definitely
and
her.
Samantha was very Samantha. Charlotte was like they way overdid it and made her like Little House on the Prairie. She's got like a high collar and
Yeah.
like a
Oh
polka
my
dot
god.
skirt, and then they do what they always do to Miranda, which is make her kind of like frumpy, which is so unfair because like
Yeah.
she's like a tall like slender like model build, and they always fuck Miranda over, which I always like. She's not.
Carrie was just trying to stunt on the Midwesterners, bro. She was like, "Yeah, look at me, tourists. I'm
Look at
from New
me
York."
from New York
Yeah, that's
City.
all that was. That was just a flex. That's all
Yeah.
that was.
Well, and then this might be my favorite moment. She's like, they're about to all go their separate ways. And she's like, no, no, we're going to have dinner first. And she goes, my treat, I'm paying. And I wrote, is this the first time she's paid for anything?
It might be other than like her splitting the them splitting the bill at
Bill
brunch
at
like
brunch or
they do.
whatever.
Yeah, but like actually just like splurging on everybody. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
probably.
I think it is
Yeah, definitely.
bullshit.
Yeah, if I was trying, I'd be like, "Hey, is that part of that 10 grand I gave you?" Because I moved
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. If I was trying, I'd be like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
because
whoa.
we ain't talked about her pay. You know what I'm saying? I think I guess it's understood that she's been paying
Yeah.
Charlotte back, but like,
The payment plan is still
ain't
working, I
yeah,
guess.
ain't nobody brought it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a lot of money been spent in these last few episodes. New shoes and shit like that. They I ain't seen
Mm-hmm.
nobody talking about that money.
Yep. So Miranda at the dinner has a joke gift for Charlotte. It's a game of Old Maid, and Charlotte is so fucking pissed off about it. She's so goddamn
She was
mad.
she looked like Tom Cruise when you try to play a prank on him. It's just like, why would you do that? I don't understand. Like, I
Yeah,
don't.
why would you
Why would you do that? That doesn't.
do
Why is that funny? I don't like. Dude, Tom Cruise does not understand jokes at all. Like
No.
I'm like, how did you become one of the greatest actors of all time? Like you don't even get human emotion.
He
But
used to,
yeah,
but
he used to,
I
yeah.
think
But
he's gone beyond that now,
well,
thanks
I
to
mean, when you're treated like a god,
yeah. And
you gotta
when your Thetan levels are down,
right.
you're way better equipped for that.
Yeah, dude, but she was not feeling that fucking prank at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's not, yeah, because like they're trying to make light of it, like
Yeah,
and because it wasn't they weren't like trying to really mess with it, but
yeah. They were trying to
not a
bust her
fan,
chops that
not a
hard, but
fan,
she was not into it.
not a fan.
Richard stops by the table and he's like invites Samantha to the poker game, and she declines. And side note, I know it's like a cool, sexy thing, probably in like Vegas if you're at like high roller shit, but watching other people play games is the most boring thing in the world.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
even if
hate
you're
it.
unless you're like if you're a gambler yourself, then it can be
Mm-hmm.
exciting, especially like if you're a person that goes out and like tries to win big and shit like that. So I can understand the excitement there. But if you're a person that just like maybe tries it out from time to time, fucking boring.
So boring.
Fucking
But
boring.
she declines, but then this like hot like hostess shows up and escorts him to poker. And they were talking about her breast size. I feel like that waitress wasn't even that stacked, but whatever.
Nah, it was the outfit that had him pushed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like she might have been like a B cup, but they had him pushed up to look,
Yeah.
C-ish, D-ish.
But anyway, Samantha like ends up running after Richard, and Miranda wants to go gamble, so they play craps, which I've only ever played like once
Mm-hmm.
in my life. It was my first time in Las Vegas when I was
Nice.
driving out here from Michigan to California.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother asked me to bet on the Hard Eight because of the movie Hard Eight, which I've never seen, but I said, okay, sure, I'll do that. He wasn't with me, I was just by myself. And I
Uh-huh.
did, and I won money, and I immediately left the table.
How much did you win? Do you
I
remember?
won like $200.
Hey, listen, that's a profit. Let's go.
And yeah, exactly. And then I was like, I was like a baby. I was like 22, and I marched over to the little cash out thing because it was chips or whatever,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'd like to cash out these, and it's like a stack of like 4 chips, and that cashier just had the sweetest like, oh, you little baby. She was so nice.
Yeah.
It
I'm
was just
surprised.
such an air of like, first time, my little
Yeah.
angel, you just
Like, look at you.
okay.
Look at
Let
you all the
me
way from the
look at
Midwest.
you from the
Winning your little
Midwest.
chips. Winning your
You're
little
cashing in
chips.
your little stack of chips. You are too cute. I feel like she would have given me an extra $20 if she could have, just for being like a fucking rube. but
Fucking rude.
but
Jesus.
but I mean, I was at the time.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Sometimes still am, depending on situation,
No,
but
because you
not
know
so
what? But
much.
I'm the same way though. Like anytime I go to Vegas, like I'll pull out like 100, maybe 200, and I'll either play till I win like another 100, maybe
Mm-hmm.
two, or until I lose it all. And if I lose the 100 or 200, then I'm done. And if I
Yeah.
win like an extra 100, then I'm done. I made a profit.
Oh,
I don't need to keep going.
my friend is pretty good at blackjack and taught me more about it, and so I understood
Mm,
more of the like mechanics of the game versus just
yeah,
like, oh, you hit or you stay or whatever. There's like like a rhythm, not card
yeah.
counting by any means, but like, oh, you can kind of like uh,
Honestly, to play the
whatever it is,
game, you
you know
kind
what
of
I mean?
what honestly the whole card counting thing, like yes, it's illegal, but like in a way, you to even understand and play blackjack, you kind of do count cards
Yeah,
anyway. You know what I mean? It's more of a guess when you're not actually counting cards than like if you don't have like
yeah,
a
and
system set up where you're like gaming people and like
no.
you know throwing out signals and all that other shit that people do.
Right. And like it's not card counting if you like look at the table and go, okay, there's like X number of kings
Yeah, you
face
just
card,
yeah,
versus
it's like I'm gonna say a guessing game, but you're using probability. It's like, all right, if
yes.
I
Yeah.
seen fucking 4 jacks already, then that probably means there's
Yeah.
only like 3 more in the day. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just
But
you're just using reasoning.
yeah, so she was good about like just the mechanics of like how to improve your gameplay and stuff like that. You can kind of help the table. Like I was on one end of the table and she was a couple seats down, and if I like hit or passed depending on whatever, it could kind of like affect the flow for the rest of the table. And so like I learned to be like a good anchor or whatever. Anyway, I got up like $250 on that, and I cashed out early. She's like, "Oh, I was gonna play till I was like out of money." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dum dum?" I made a profit. I gotta go. This is
Yeah,
my money now.
yeah. I mean,
I
listen, people be
run
winning
away with
though.
my little pile of chips every time. I don't
Oh yeah.
care.
Nah, I'm the same way. Like I said, I if I pull out like 100 and I win 100, then I'm done. If I pull out 200 and win 200, then I'm like I try
Yeah.
to just like double what I pulled out, and if I
Mm-hmm.
can't do that, then I'm out. If
Yeah.
I lose it all, I'm out. I'm not gonna be like, oh, go back to the ATM. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
again. Like now, I mean,
No,
now we're talking
no.
about that little light game at Chuck E. Cheese. I'll fucking lose all my.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'll lose all my tokens for that shit.
slot machines on
No,
the
I'm
other
talking about
hand.
remember the light machine at the
Oh, you
fucking Chuck E.
slap it. Yeah,
The
yeah,
little
yeah.
all my tokens gone, bro. Like, I was like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll waste it. I'll waste
I'll waste
$100 in a
all
crane game, no questions asked.
no questions. Don't even ask me. And slots too. I'm with you on the slots. Like I'll fuck
Because
up
it's
the
all
slots.
the blingy bloopy. It's like
Telling
it's the
you.
Chuck E. Cheese light game on steroids because it's all the blings and the bloops and
Well,
the
it's also
flashing
too
lights
like the
and
more coins you put in, the better chances you have. So
yeah,
like you want to try to fill up all the rows. So like when you junk that bitch down, you try to maximize it. And if you keep doing that every single time, it starts to pile up. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah.
Anyway, they're at the craps table and some guy asks Carrie to blow on the dice for luck. And Carrie is trying to cheer Charlotte up and she's like, oh, we'll have her do it. And the guys go, no, the hot one. Charlotte is hot.
Charlotte's very hot. I don't know
Charlotte's
why. Like,
super
yeah, Charlotte's
hot.
very hot. Yeah, that was clearly just for the show.
It
Like,
was
there's
for the
no because
show.
like it's like even as a writer, you're like, you don't believe that.
Yeah.
You know this girl's
Sorry.
fucking hot. Come on, stop playing. But it's so funny though because like when they were asking Carrie, she was like, that's sexist. Is it?
Yeah.
She was like, oh, you do it. She was like, oh.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I can do it. And then they're like,
Oh,
nah.
me?
Uh,
Okay. And so the guys win,
Also,
like,
by the way,
yeah.
and I know this as a gambler, you never let a blonde blow on your dice. It's always brunettes. Brunettes are the luck. You always bet on black hair.
Oh.
Just saying. So the guy was fucking up. I mean, he won because they
He
brought it in the
won.
show. But like in theory, that's kind of bad luck. Blondes and
Really?
redheads are not so great in the luck department. Yeah,
Huh.
just
I'm gonna
missed
go
out.
run around blowing on everybody's desk and be like, cough it up. You owe
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Finder's fee, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
um,
I mean, he did tip her. He did tip her $1,000 chip.
$1,000, yeah.
You won her 12 grand.
And
He was like, here you go. I was like, first of all, that's a lot, my boy. Like maybe
yeah,
500. I mean,
I
she
mean,
just blew on it.
yeah, I guess if you're high rolling or whatever.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's all mad about the hot one thing. Miranda's like, we need you to gamble it now.
Which is crazy because like it's so funny because you do see people like that, the people that you wouldn't think would be like kind of obsessed with gambling, uh, kind of become that way, right? Because you think of Miranda, she's so calculated and
Yeah.
measured, and then she won a few $100s, and now she's like, let's do it
Let's
all, baby,
go.
like keep
Yeah.
it rolling, keep the good time going. Until she was like done, and she was like, I'm motivated.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
And
once I
once
stop,
I stop, I just power down, which I get. Like, I don't even have a kid, but like sometimes you're like, there are days where I'm like, I can't stop what I'm
bro.
doing
No, that's
because
like
I will power down for a
I
nap.
think that's just like being in your 30s or at least mid 30s. Because like there's
Yeah.
sometimes where I was like, I'll make plans, like I'll get off work or I have plans for like when I get off work. But if I come home and sit down for like longer than 20 minutes, fuck them plans.
Oh my god, I know, I know.
Canceling them.
Oh,
Canceling them. I ain't going back outside, especially here in LA. And I gotta like I start thinking about the traffic and then like thinking about parking.
uh,
It's
yeah.
like, do I even really fuck with these people? Like, I don't know.
No, sometimes like I'll like kind of kill time at like the
Yeah,
office, and
yeah.
people are like, "But you're done." I was like, "Yeah, but man, if I fucking go home, it's
It's
game
over.
over.
It's over. I ain't
It's
going.
game over."
I have planned. I have to just sometimes too procrastinate or just like get there early and
Or
just
I brought my personal computer to work this week because I knew I was gonna be done early with something.
yeah,
And I had a dentist appointment, and I was like, I do not want to go home and then try to
yeah,
make myself go to the dentist. There's no way.
cancel
There's
it. Yeah,
there's
I
no
would.
way.
Yeah, no,
I won't make it.
yeah,
So they
straight
all
up.
go off their separate ways though. Charlotte's pissed, Miranda's tired, and Carrie's up in her room watching like a roulette tutorial, which I don't really get because there's really not a whole lot you can do to roulette, but whatever.
She thinks she gonna learn gambling on fucking TV. First of all, and also like you're watching a gambling program in a hotel that has gambling. You think they're gonna show you winners,
How to
like how to
win?
win?
Yeah.
Come on, that shit is designed like it might show you the basics of like the game, fine, but it ain't gonna show you like any kind of cool tips and tricks on how to. Come on.
So next day, Samantha and Richard are getting ready. A hot maid shows up, and he knows that they maid by name. Samantha's like super suspicious of that he's still cheating. She's like fucking paranoid, like it's like a 70s spy thriller. She thinks he's up to no good.
Right. Like, I mean, come on. Like, if he was gonna cheat on you again, I don't think he would bring the bitch to your room. Like, that would just be completely disrespectful.
Yeah, that's like psychotic, but
Yeah, like that's straight up like sociopathic. If he
yeah.
was like, I'm
I
just
want you
gonna,
to suffer.
I want you to see the bitch I'm gonna cheat on you with.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, but
And
but she was smart though. Here's the thing.
mm-hmm.
This is where I like Samantha because she understands men. Because what she did, she was like, all right, saw the hot fucking maid or whatever. But what she did, she was like, before I leave, I'm gonna drain this motherfucker. Like he ain't gonna
Yeah.
have no desire left in his body. She was like, I'm gonna drain his balls, and ain't no way he's gonna be fucking this girl. Like
Because
unless he's
like
just like some Superman.
we see her start to go down on him, and then when they're out on the casino floor, she meets up with Carrie and Miranda at the slot machines, and she's like, "All right, I banged him for 3 hours. He's got to be done by now. There's
That's
no way."
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. He was. He
I'm
fucking
impressed.
definitely was.
He goes on a business call not too long after that. I don't know how he pulled it off.
Straight up. Straight up. I'd have been in a coma 3 hours. Because, like, I mean, think about it too. Like, even in all the time, like the recovery time and stuff like that, like, because you got at least like 20, 30 minutes of recovery time after
Mhm.
that. So, I mean, they probably had sex and plus a blowjob, at least like,
Mhm.
if I had sex like twice, maybe even 3 times, and then a blowjob, like, that means he came 4 times. I'd be in a coma.
This man is in a coma.
Yeah, like, there's no way. Like, I don't care. The hottest woman in the world could come through my mirror. I'll be like, get out.
Be like,
Get out. I can't do anything
leave.
for you. I'm sore. Like literally, because here's the thing. After, like, I don't know if women know this, but like after a certain amount of times of like orgasming, men get sore down there. Like it truly does get sore. It is like painful. So after like 2 and 3, that's when it starts to hurt. So if he got
Yeah.
like a 4 orgasms out of him, it was probably like a drop, and he was probably like, "Bitch, get off me! I can't." Like this is assault at this point. Get off me,
Ma'am, please.
ma'am, ma'am, get off me.
Yeah. So then Charlotte shows up with her Atlantic City slut makeover.
I
I don't
mean,
think she looked that slutty.
it really wasn't. It was like
It's not her. I'll give you
it's
that.
not her. You know what it kind of was. It was like slutty teenager prom dress. Like it was, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like it wasn't that bad. Like if this was
Yeah.
like a high school prom, yeah, it'd be considered maybe a little slutty. But like in Atlantic City, that was like,
Yeah, because it's
you know,
like a scoop neck kind of open dress, like halter neck thing. It's
yeah,
short and it's tight
yeah,
and kind of a gaudy color.
yeah,
And like she's in high heels and like cheap looking earrings and stuff like that. And she's got like a way heavier makeup look than she normally
yeah.
ever does. It's like a smoky eye and a darker lip, and like her hair is like super done, like super curled and styled and kind
Yeah,
of
but
teased up and stuff. But
it was also still like a one piece. Like I understand if it was like a
yeah,
crop top showing a little midriff, maybe like a low
yeah,
rise kind of skirt where barely made it over the waist, but it wasn't even that. Like I said, it wasn't even that slutty. Maybe a
yeah.
little trashy, but
A
like
little
not.
trashy, but I yeah. So they're gonna go play blackjack, and Miranda's at the table playing, and the girls are watching. Samantha's wearing the pearl thong, by the way, and she keeps like picking at her crotch because it's
Yeah,
like rubbing in a weird way. Which
yeah, I imagine it would, right? Because like the pearls is
I
essentially
think
like a ball, so it'd probably be like rolling up and
but on
down,
your
right?
business, your front, right? Yeah.
So what? Sorry, what? Sorry, wait, say wait, sorry, what?
I thought I don't know. Oh, I'm dumb. I the whole time I thought the pearl thong was like more on her front end,
Oh,
rubbing
the pearl part?
her yeah
No, I
her.
think the pearl part was like the wings around the waist, and then because remember it had like a black fabric attached to it. I think that goes around like
But when she's running up the stairs, it's like also like getting her off a little, which made me think the pearls were
mm,
touching the oh so mysterious
mm.
clitoris.
Yeah, maybe the pearls were the front part.
I never did look at the anatomy of the underwear very
Yeah,
carefully,
they
and
don't
I'm
really
not
show it
gonna
that
do it
well.
now.
Yeah, they don't really show it that well. Also,
Yeah,
either they
but
just kind of
in my head, a thong is you have the teeny triangle fabric on the
mm-hmm.
front to, in theory, cover your vagina, and then the thong part goes
Why'd
up
you
your.
put an H in front of it? That's not even. That's not even where you would put the H. Ridiculous.
But then the thong part goes up your butt and on the back, so your bare ass
Yeah.
is out.
Right.
And in theory, that's where like a string of pearls would make sense. But
Uh,
but maybe the pearls are going in a little. But that wouldn't get you off that much, would it?
I mean,
I
since
don't
you
know.
tell me, I don't know. I don't. I personally, I don't have a vagina. Never had one. So I don't know what
Yeah,
pearls
I
would do
couldn't
to it.
tell you. I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought because like the way that they kind of showed it whenever Richard kind of like pulled it from Charlotte's hands, I
Yeah.
thought the pearl part was like the waistline, and then the black fabric was like for the front and the back. But again, but that's what I'm saying. But
But
yeah,
I,
now you're saying
when she's
that.
right at the stairs, it's like
Yeah,
clearly rubbing
that's what
somewhere
I'm saying. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's like the
sexual.
pearls. I could have been wrong about the anatomy of the thumb because yeah, if you're
Yeah.
saying it, it's like oh, not you're saying it, but like they were saying in the episode that she was like getting turned on as she was trying to run up the stairs,
Yeah. With it rubbing her.
which we'll get to why she was running up the stairs.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Anyway, so they're
interesting.
Miranda runs out of money and wants to use Carrie's chip at the blackjack table, and they're holding up the table. Carrie's trying to get her stupid group photo, and everybody's yelling at them. And then this guy calls Miranda fat, and the girls all turn on him. And
And here's my thing. Okay, I hate characters like this in shows. Like the dude, the fucking like
yeah,
just so like
move your fat
dumb, move
ass.
your
Yeah.
fat ass, move your fucking broad. Like you just had that like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay. Are there men out there that exist this way? Yes. However, for the most part, nobody's just that fucking disrespectful to a complete stranger. He might say a comment like that, move your fat ass, it's like somebody he knows or is acquainted with, like somebody from the neighborhood. But I
Mm-hmm.
just don't, I find it hard to believe there's a dude out there that would just be like, move your fat ass to a complete stranger like that.
You'd be surprised.
I don't know. It just seems so, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerated, like the male piece of shit character. You know what I mean? Because it was like the same thing. Like just even see you'll see some in the shows today. Like first episode of She-Hulk, like she's like walking out of a bar and like all of a sudden these like four dudes are just like super rapey about like out of nowhere, and it's like
Sorry, it
no, but
happens
like
though.
it does, but like it was just so cliche. You know what I mean? Like because she wasn't um like in anything like scantily
Doesn't
clad or
matter.
anything
It
like
does not
that.
matter.
No, she looked in distress. Like she looked homeless. I don't think any dudes are gonna be like, "Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
homeless
they
looking girl?"
do. They do though.
I've never seen
You've never
anybody.
seen it happen, but it happens.
Yeah, if you say so, I just don't
It
believe it.
does. It does. There are. We do not have time to open this can of worms, but trust me, bad,
All right, I'll take
bad.
it.
It's
I'll
bad.
take it. But yeah, dude calls her a fat ass, and then they call him a fat ass, and then that's
The good thing you think this wouldn't happen though is because you wouldn't do this. So like that's a good thing that you
that's
can't imagine it because
yeah,
you're
that's
like I would
fair.
never do that.
That's
So
fair.
that's like it heartens me knowing
Yeah,
like and I know there are other I know guys not unlike
but
yourself
that
who
has
would
to
never
be
do that.
that has to be a very low percentage of dude that would do. Like I'm gonna say less than 5% that would just be like that disrespectful and like that mean to a complete stranger. Like without her, because like it'd be different if she was like talking shit to them first and then maybe he called her a fat ass. But like them just holding up the table, he wouldn't be like move your fat ass. You know what I mean?
Again, you'd be surprised. But anyway,
Yeah. They
the
also
lit.
because it is a casino. They have been drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
another factor into it. So yeah, that's I was just like, I was like, man, this guy's gross.
yeah. So they do give up. They land some zingers on the guy, and
Yeah,
they get up though, but it gets Miranda feeling down. She's gonna go back to her room.
yeah,
Samantha gets a call from Richard, and he says, "Oh, he's gonna miss the fight that they're gonna go watch because he has a conference call." And she thinks he's lying, so that's when she goes running up the stairs, like we were talking about a second ago, because she can't even like wait for an elevator,
yeah. She was like, because like, my thing is too is like,
which is so stupid.
if he's up there fucking, what's what,
What's
like,
another 30
right?
seconds to a
Because
minute?
also too, right? And he's just call you. So you running up the stairs, you're not even if he was going to cheat on you, you're not gonna catch him in anything.
Yeah.
That was like what 2-3 minutes from
If
time
anything,
from
you
the.
wasted time running up the stairs. But then we got the whole thing about the pearl
Also,
thong. Ha ha
you
ha.
just fucked him for 3 hours.
Like you said, yeah.
There's no way he's recharged and ready to like bang that maid.
Richard is fucking superhuman.
Jesus, like super dick over here. Like, come
Super
on, man.
dick.
That's a
Um,
ridiculous.
so she busts in the room. He like hangs up on the call, and she's like, "There's no one here." And he's like, "No." And she's like, "All right, I can't do this." She's like, "I thought I could handle it, but like the paranoia is too much." And he's like, "I promised I would do my best, and I love you." And she's like, "I love you, but I love me more." And she gives back the pearl thong and the giant ring.
Which is that fucking huge ring.
Yeah.
Goddamn, big ass diamond. I respect Samantha for this because, like, yeah, at the end of the day, if she
Mm-hmm.
is going to be in a relationship, she wants monogamy. Obviously, that's what she wants. And again, Richard fucked up from the beginning because if you knew that you were the kind of man that doesn't do monogamy, you should have never,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
well, believed in the lie that you would be monogamous. And like, so really, you kind of brought this breakup on yourself because if you'd have been like from the get go telling Samantha, "Hey, I like to fuck other women from time to time. That's just who
Mm-hmm.
I am, and can you deal with that?" She probably would have been able to get past that
Yeah.
in some way, some capacity.
Yeah. And but even when she's leaving and she's like kind of wondering if she made the right choice, the like hot maid walks by and looks kind of gives her a little look and she's like, I think I made the right choice. Cause like,
Yeah, she looked. Yeah. Because like the they kind of looked at her like, "Well, I'm gonna get him at some point." You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you might be here now, but I'm gonna get him. So like, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
cause like, I don't know if they were trying to allude that she was going there to fuck him, but I think she was
Right,
trying to
right.
allude that, like, don't worry, bitch, he'll
And
be
also,
back.
and it's even if none of that was going to happen, it just reinforces Samantha's knowledge that she's like, I can't handle this. Like,
Right,
you see this
right.
maid that I know is like
His
attractive
type.
or whatever,
his type.
his type,
his type. Let's be
go
honest
into
here.
his room, like I'll never relax. I can never, and
Yeah,
a part of being in a relationship is being able to be comfortable. And if you're
yeah, yeah.
never comfortable and never, and trust obviously is, she can
Well,
never, feels like she can never trust him.
and the great thing about Samantha is that this is why I'm trying to figure out how to fuck her and Carrie are friends because Carrie would love this kind of drama in her life.
Oh
She would
my
love to
God.
be running up the
No,
stairs
no,
for a
no, no, no.
dude, and
Yeah.
but oh, she'd
She'd
be
eat it up.
spoonfuls, couldn't get enough. Bring seconds, bring thirds. Like she'd be in this for months. You know what I'm saying? Just being destroyed by that, and which is crazy because there are women like that who are out like they're like this that
Mm-hmm.
love that
Mm-hmm.
drama in a relationship and think that that's like what a relationship is supposed to be. Just you being
Mm-hmm.
like constantly on eggshells, which is insane to me. Um, but yeah, that's smart on Samantha because like yeah, at the end of the day, if that's not what you want, then why go through it? That
Yeah,
just doesn't make any
exactly.
sense
No.
mentally. Like so clearly she's more emotionally and mentally mature than fucking Carrie. Which again, how the fuck are they friends?
Ugh.
Because that's the kind of to me.
Samantha's a good person, that's why.
She does do charity work, so yeah, that
She
makes sense.
does. She's doing the Lord's work
He
by
does do
being
charity
Carrie's
work.
friend.
Yeah, he does. Well, I mean, like actual charity work, but also that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing the Lord's work.
yeah. She's trying to get
Um,
to heaven, I guess.
so meanwhile, Carrie and Charlotte are at the bar, meet some guys, and Charlotte's like, "Oh, it's my birthday," and like wants
Yeah,
to
because
get
like the
drinks
guy,
with
yeah,
them.
it's so funny. Yeah, that's what I love the contrast of Charlotte. Because like yeah, when the guys are asking Carrie to like blow on the night, she's like, "Oh, sexist pigs," but then
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's finally getting hit on at the bar.
Lots of
Guys are like,
birthday drinks.
"Yeah." Now all of a sudden she's like, "Oh my god, me?
Oh my
You want to
god,
buy me a drink? Oh, it's my birthday!" Like
it's my birthday.
she's all of a sudden flattered, right? And
Yeah,
Carrie is doing that fucking thing that I
oh,
hate that girlfriends do with the
fucking
cock
cock
blocking.
blocking.
I'm sorry, clam blocking friend. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it, appropriate. Um, yeah, man. I like listen. That shit is annoying, man. Let your
Mm-hmm,
friend, you know what I'm saying? Because like, look, at the end of the day, it's Charlotte. It's not like she's gonna go upstairs and fuck one of these dudes or anything like that. Like
right.
she's probably just enjoying the fucking attention. However,
Yeah.
just let her enjoy it. Like it's her
Mm-hmm.
36th birthday. She's feeling a little down by herself, a little insecure. Let her have that. Like you're not being a friend. You're like honestly, I think the only reason why they like she was even blocking her is because they know it's fucking Charlotte first.
Yeah. And Carrie's like, well, I want to talk to my friend like in depth or whatnot. And here's the thing, Charlotte, like you said, Charlotte is still Charlotte as
Yes.
much as because when they do go out on the boardwalk, because Carrie pulls her aside long enough that the guys bail. And then they
Mm-hmm.
take the little boardwalk ride. And while they're talking on the boardwalk,
Yeah.
Charlotte is like, I'm mad, basically that, we could have hit it off with these guys. And Carrie's like, we were never gonna see them again, blah blah blah. And Charlotte's like, you don't know that.
Right.
And
You give
that's
them two
that's
minutes to
still
even
such a Charlotte thing to think like, could she find the love of her life in this
in
Atlantic
Atlantic
City
City.
bar? It's so sweet, but it's
Yeah,
like,
it
but
is.
that's still, but Charlotte, for her makeover or whatever
Mm,
Carrie can try to claim as being concerned about, Charlotte is still Charlotte at heart, and she like,
yeah.
if she was talking with the guys, she may have come close to like maybe going up to her room, but she was never gonna like, you know,
I don't even think honestly, she was just, it was honestly, that moment was just kind of an ego boost for her. Like, she had no
yeah, we all
intention
need
and
it.
like, and even if she, like, did end up liking one of the guys, as soon as they probably said that they weren't from New York or anything, she
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have
Or
gone
what
any
their job
further.
was or
Yeah.
whatever, she would have been like, ick, and left, like
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, and you know,
Carrie just wants somebody to be miserable with.
yeah,
Samantha,
and
Samantha has Richard, or at least to her knowledge at this time has
at the time,
Richard.
yeah.
Miranda has a baby, and she just didn't want anybody, like, she didn't want Charlotte to like find the guy that she likes and move on, because they never
Mm-hmm.
leave her to be an old maid
Yeah,
by herself, basically.
yeah. And that's obvious, yeah, exactly, that's 100% spot on.
Yeah,
And because she's like, yeah, I don't want all the drama, and Charlotte's like, that's kind of life, and you do that, and I want all that and friends. And
yeah,
so Carrie decides to kind of like hop off the little sightseeing ride and ponder on the boardwalk, and then while she's eating the taffy or whatever, she sees like a cute older couple,
yeah,
enjoying their time together. And she's like, oh, that I do want that. It's like, yeah, everybody does, you dumb broad. Like,
yeah,
or most people do.
yeah.
Um,
I think you can say everybody does. I think we all do. I
yeah.
think again, to go back
But
to what I
what,
said
but
earlier,
what,
I think those people
yeah.
like who don't get that or like give up on it, then they say then you kind of
Mm-hmm.
do lose desire for it because you gave up on it. Like, it
Yeah.
becomes something that you can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody who wants to be a famous actor, but like spend 20 years in the game and never get there. Some people just give up on it and
Mm-hmm.
like become real estate agents or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's just all that Carrie's in that mode right now. She's just kind of giving up on the idea of it.
And also, what that is different for everybody too.
Sure.
You want the feeling of that moment of the
Yeah.
older couple watching the
Yeah.
sunset. It does not have to be sitting on next to each other watching the
Correct.
sunset. It could
Correct.
it could be you're
Correct.
watching TV next to each other. You're out camping. You're doing. There's like so many things, and I think again, it's a media society thing. Is like, oh, like true love and how or and companion partnership is only this old couple on the older couple. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
want to call
like
them old because they're not that
it's
old.
like all bliss for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
that's
and
not how
it's
it works.
always these things, and it's like what that is though looks different for everybody, but
Yeah.
you want that feeling regardless,
Yeah.
and that's a very normal human like
Absolutely.
thing.
That's just who. That's what we like. Anybody that like I said, if you're denying that, you're literally just denying your whole
Mm-hmm.
being as a human
Yeah.
being. So like to say that, oh, I can't wait to be like old and alone. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because even look at Carrie, right? She's so cynical. Maybe she's giving up on romance, but what does she still want around her? Friends.
People.
So we
Yeah.
still want people around us. There's
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants to be old, dead, and alone. There's
Yeah.
nobody out there.
No, because like, am I like Miss Independent taking care of my own shit? Obviously, yeah, and that's great. But I was like, I absolutely want a partner. I want a feller, as I always say, to like share that time and
A
space
feller
with.
that carries a billfold.
A
It's your
feller.
old language.
I want if my 50-year-old imaginary future boyfriend carries a little billfold, I don't care.
Oh man, that's funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, exactly. Yeah, that's not like I said. That when you said everybody, yes, you do. Like everybody,
Yeah.
you at least want a fucking friend. You may not want to ever get married and have kids and have a family in that sense, but you definitely want fucking friends.
Yeah. For
Nobody
sure.
wants to be dead and alone. Like, that sucks. That sounds
Yeah.
terrible. That's like
That's
probably everybody's worst fear is to just like
yeah.
die old and alone. Dude, fuck that.
Yeah.
Even motherfuckers that like live off the grid and go out to a cabin and live off the land,
Yeah.
like they still would look somebody like I got a fucking dog, like I got
Yeah.
pets and shit
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
They
Like
always have like a
nobody wants
dog
to be alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
no one does. Maybe
Yeah.
have a fucking pet spider or something, bro.
Something.
Something.
Yeah.
Everybody wants some kind of companionship. There's nobody who wants to be completely alone.
No.
Trust me.
True.
Except for like a lone wolf, like a true
Like
actual
a true actual.
blue lone wolf, like a real wolf. That's the only people that want to be alone.
And
Only
that's a
people want to be
myth
alone.
too. The lone wolf thing is a myth. They've been proving
Also a
that.
lip, yeah.
Same thing
Also a
with the
lip.
alpha beta thing, by the way. That's not as accurate as they claim it to be.
Yeah. Is that right? That's crazy. I believe it. Yeah.
Anywho,
So nobody wants to be alone.
no one wants to be
Carrie.
alone. So Carrie goes to play roulette alone and puts the $1,000 chip on 36, which is red, right? Was that red
She
or
put
green?
it on. Yeah, she put on 36 red. First of all, you just watched the whole thing on TV. You didn't. They didn't tell you to bet on black. I mean, that's like the understood rule of fucking roulette. Always bet on black. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, just bet on black.
I won like 50 bucks on roulette, or I doubled. So I had put down 20 and I won $20. So I walked away with 40. The first time I ever played roulette by putting, I think 20 is black on the board and 20 is my birthday in January. So I total beginner's luck and I won money and I've never played roulette again because I was like, yeah, it's never gonna happen again.
Good rule. It's just the understood rule of roulette. You just bet on black. No matter if you don't, it doesn't matter like the number or whatever. Just put it on black. Good chance you'll win.
But the 36 is important because that's the last number on the roulette thing. And Carrie asks the guy, like, what happens after 36? And he goes, I don't know. I guess you fall off the table. Metaphor alert. Whoop, whoop, whoop,
Oh my god, I didn't even pick up on that. Holy shit, that's fucking corny, and I hate it.
I hate it because again, it's the notion, it's so prevalent at this time and before that, like, oh my god, once you're like getting older, you'll never find love. Again, it's the whole what I've been joking about since the beginning of this podcast. Of the like, oh no, they're getting too old, time to send them out on an ice floe into the ocean because they're no use. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god, I did not pick up on that. Great eye, because I hate it.
Thank you.
36. Oh, I guess we just fall off the table, which is, I guess, the table's the metaphor for the world, right?
For the world and the dating pool, because like, ooh, you decrepit fucking crone. You can't catch a man.
Geriatric bitch.
Yeah, like.
Oh my god.
You can't. I hate it. Anyway.
Anywho. Yeah, so.
They get stuck taking the bus home. I booed Richard, unless Samantha made them take the bus home.
She probably made them take the bus.
Yeah, because
Richard, I mean,
Richard's a classy enough dude that he'd like let him take a plane ride.
Still be like, if anything, he would just like charter the plane, send them first, and then he'd come after.
Then he'd go, or he'd get whatever,
or he'd get a limo and drive there while they're on.
Because Miranda's mad. Carrie blew the money on the roulette. She's like, we could have taken a limo, and Carrie's like, I thought we were taking the jet, and she's like, you couldn't have broken up with him one more day. And Samantha's like, I want my dignity, eat it. And they agree to play Old Maid, and they take their little group photo on the bus. And I bet that little old lady didn't know how to use that disposable camera, and I bet their photo looks like crap.
There's probably a finger in there. A pink finger in there. Old pink finger in that motherfucking picture.
But it is a sweet friendship girl power moment. We like it.
Do we like it?
Nice.
Do we like it? Be honest.
It's nice in the sense that Carrie stopped trying to force fun for like 1 fucking minute of this trip. But I sometimes I'm not great with group photos because like it is such a forced like thing, and I like, unless something's genuinely making me like laugh in it, I always have like a real death rictus like tight grin. It's a really forced, horrible smile. It's not horrible, but it's just like not.
You got that smile from like the 1800s when they had to pose there for like 6 hours until the picture got developed.
I'm like gritting my teeth more than I'm smiling. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was a good moment. I'm bullshit, but it was a good moment.
Although I laughed. So we took this group photo at work. Actually a couple weeks ago, because it was one person's like last day ahead of kind of the official last day.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna be there anymore. So we took like a normal like group photo, everyone lined up, everyone was smiling. And then for funsies, we took one flipping the camera off. And he like zoomed in on himself. He was like, I've never looked happier. So it's just like everybody's genuinely like laughing and smiling in the like flipping off photo.
Well, let's wrap this Django up.
Yep.
Django? Yeah, because
Okay.
we killing slave masters on this show. That's what we're doing.
I mean,
She's like, I'll do it. I mean,
okay.
if you want.
I'm an ally. I'm
yeah. I don't know. You might have more fun than me. Then be like, hey, what's going on here, Elizabeth? Why are you
I have a lot
laughing
of
hysterically? Man.
So yeah, you can find our show most easily on Instagram if you go to Show Me What Podcast, and then I'll take you to Twitter and Facebook and on YouTube. Loving our YouTube subscribers right now. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, man, you guys are subscribing. It's been awesome.
Yeah,
we went up I think since we've been back, we think we've been up like 50 more subscribers. So like, yo, keep it coming.
Yeah,
keep
we love to see it. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Elizabeth Movies.
You can find me at Christopher T. Mack on all social media.
And you, as always, we have the Arlo Australia promo code Show Me Miss, all caps, saves 10% on some fantastic smelling candles. Yeah. Great. It's fall, y'all.
Yeah.
Fall is life.
This is the best time to get your candles.
Best time to get some candles.
Best time to get some candles. Fall, because her fall line is amazing. Make sure you go to Arlo Australia on Instagram, ARLO_Australia. And they got all her link trees and stuff like that, so you can get to her Etsy site and all that stuff and get the candles. Trust me, this is the time to be getting candles. Her fall line is lit.
Yeah, and you can light them because they're candles.
All right, goodbye, guys.